Hey everybody, Ro here. I'm actually about to do some shadow work with Jahphet here in one moment. Don't let the word shadow freak you out or anything like that. I will not be doing any aura readings today like I usually do. I will be doing shadow work. And what I'm going to do is just wait for him to sign on. And then when he's signed on, I'm going to basically ask him a lot of questions whenever he is ready. What's up, Chris? How's it going? If you're not sure what shadow work is, basically what it is being aware of your innermost memories that we've suppressed. And what we do is when we have something that happens to us in our past, we tend to suppress it. And when we suppress those feelings, it turns into what we call our shadow self. And it manifests into problems within our life. And it could cause us to do things that hurt us, like pushing love away, sabotaging ourselves, not following dreams and goals that we want to, basically because of something that might have happened in our past. So shadow work is basically just going back deep into our mind. I like to call it kind of our attic or our basement in our mind that we've been too scared to tap into. And what it is bringing your unconscious to your conscious. Therefore, you're more conscious of it, so it's not controlling you anymore. So I'm waiting for Jahphet to sign on. And then as soon as he does, I'm messaging him right now. I don't know if there's a way I can just bring him on camera. I'm waiting for him. Does anybody have any questions about shadow work? I don't want to get too in-depth into it because I'm trying to wait for him to sign on so I could kind of talk to Jahphet about it. I see a few people watching. Is there anybody who's watching knows anything about... Oh, that's not him messaging me. Sorry, there's somebody messaging me. I'm trying to see if it's him. Is there anybody out there who has ever heard of shadow work and knows what it is, or has any questions basically of what it is, or if you're curious about getting it done? Or is there anybody who wants to ask me any questions while I'm waiting for him to sign on? Just let me know. I don't know if I'm... Oh, there he is. Okay, he's on. Alright, Jahphet, you ready? I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm gonna add you on. Hey, suppose adding you, you just gotta go and... I don't know what it looks like on your end, but I guess you have to click something on the screen. There you are.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm supposed to be laying there. So, Jahphet is how you say it.
Say it again. I'm sorry. I know I probably botched it. I'm used to it. People botch my name too. How do you pronounce it?
Jahphet.
Jahphet. That actually sounds way better than the way I said it.
Yeah, I know. But I used to go by the Jahphet for years until one of my customers went and researched it. But I already told him what it means and everything. So he was Hebrew. He didn't believe me. So he went and researched it himself and then came back and told me, yep, you're right. But he was like, but you're supposed to pronounce it Jahphet. I was like, oh, okay.
It sounds fancier.
Yeah.
All
Yes,
right. So
ma'am.
have you ever heard of shadow work before? Have you ever researched it, or have you ever heard of it, or
Mm-mm.
you think that?
No.
Okay. So before I do any
That's why
shadow
I had
work,
all them questions.
what'd you say?
That's why I had all them questions.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you the basics. I'm not going to tell you too much of what I'm going to do. Basically, it is a lot of just questions. I'm not going to get too personal, so you don't have to worry about kind of trying to feel resistant while I'm talking to you.
Mm.
You could trust me that I'm not going to push you to say anything you don't want to say that you're not comfortable with. You could just, when I do ask you and ask questions, what you want to do is just answer them what you're comfortable to answer. You know,
Okay.
even
Yeah.
if we were alone, you still have a right to do that because I am a stranger or another person that you can give vague answers if you want to make yourself more comfortable. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. When I ask you, basically, it's a lot of
Okay.
questions. But
Yeah.
shadow work basically is what it is we have different levels within our conscious mind. We have our subconscious mind, and then we have our conscious mind. And 82% of our actions we make are actually controlled by our subconscious mind, and only 12% is controlled by our conscious mind, which is pretty much saying that we are constantly on autopilot a good majority of the time that we're living in life. Like the kind of
Right.
the same concept of, you ever drive home from work but you realize once you got home, you were spacing out mentally the whole time. And you're like, how did I get home? Because you're on autopilot. Because your
Right.
brain is telling your body to do something that you've done multiple times. Therefore, consciously or subconsciously, you know you kind of go to sleep and wander off, and you know subconsciously your brain knows where to take you. Even though
Right.
you're not really paying attention, you're just alert enough to protect yourself. You know, a car's not going to hit you, or you're going to be alert enough to be able to pay attention to what's around you. It's just the way your brain works. The same concept of why we have triggers. Do you know what I'm sure you know what a trigger is, right? So
Yes.
something might happen in our life where like somebody says something or something happened, we might see something, and all of a sudden we get really anxious, or we might freak out and want to argue, or we get really defensive. And then it's a constant habit, and then other people might not do that. And then sometimes we don't realize that we're even doing it because it's just a habit, or we might see it in
Right.
other people, or sometimes we do ask ourselves, like, why do we keep doing this shit? That's a trigger because of something that happened way long time ago that really has
Yeah.
nothing to do with what we're doing now. So the way our
Right.
brain works is pretty much like a computer. I know our human brain's very advanced, but at the same time, it's very simple. So when our brain processes, like for example, if you walk through a door when you're 7 years old and a football slammed you in the face, for example, that door was red, let's say, for example. For the rest of your life, majority of the time, you're going to be on guard when you have a door open. You're not going to realize why you're doing this or why you feel weird when a red door opens, because your brain already told you when you open a red door, something's going to hit you in your face. Does it mean it's accurate that every time you go through a red door, something's going to hit you in the face? Absolutely not. But your brain has filed the information in the
Right.
back of your head to say, hey,
Right.
you need to be wary of this to protect your body and protect yourself, even though
Right.
it doesn't make sense today. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Now.
so we have, and then we have other levels that are much more advanced in our subconscious or conscious. We have our higher self, which is a lot of stuff I like to talk about, which is our connection through God, which is beyond our physical mind. It's being able to tap into that spiritual connection through the universe and what is beyond our physicalness. And then we have our shadow self, which I like to call the part of ourself that we constantly resist because we have been conditioned to be ashamed of it or to fear it, which is
Mm.
much deeper than our subconscious mind, which are where triggers come from, which are the ones that are way more explosive, which actually
Mm.
comes out a lot of, we notice, in our personal relationships, because usually it's from childhood. And the younger you are that something traumatic happens to you, and the closer you are to that person that hurt you, the more you will suppress it, therefore the bigger your explosion will be in your adult life.
Mm.
And the more it happens, the more you feel
Okay.
ashamed of it, and the more you will suppress it, and the more you will subconsciously and consciously even forget what you're suppressing and why you're suppressing it.
Mm.
Because sometimes we tell ourselves that if I remember, then I have to feel it and I have to go through it again. It hurts too much. And we convince ourselves that, but it's really not true. And then it turns into something that we're not even aware of. So a lot of times, this is our subconscious mind or conscious mind arguing. Well, like a lot of times I'll ask somebody, why do you think you're doing that? And most people will respond with, well, I think I'm doing it because, and it always starts as, well, I think. Well, if
Yeah.
you really knew, then you wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
But it's our pride to think that we know what it is. So every time I've done shadow work with somebody, it's something that we never thought it was, because that's why it's called our shadow self.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we do not realize has been controlling us. And a lot of times,
Most people.
the times I've done it, it's usually something really small and minute. And then we've been,
I
another
think
time,
I'm a.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Um, I'm pretty much aware of my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and so I got an idea. It's some things that I know that I definitely suppress
Mm-hmm.
so much so I don't even remember who it was. So, but but about 4 months ago, I started actually focusing on. I always knew I got this anger from childhood
Mm-hmm.
deep down, and like you said, the trigger. So there's several different things that can trigger it, but I
Mm-hmm.
have not pinpointed all the triggers, right? So
Yeah.
all I know is but I notice when it happened, because I feel it, like my blood pressure go up, I'll feel it.
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so immediately I start to, because of my mind frame now and my spiritual, where I'm at spiritually now, I'm able to handle it and you know, take care of it real quick. But in the past, in my younger years, you know, somebody could get the business. And
Like you
so
let it, like it
that's
used
what,
to overpower you, and now you kind of pause for a second and be more in control of that energy
yeah,
versus that
I'm more empowered. I overpower it because I've already separated myself from the ego running my life. And so now it's the spiritual. I'm feeding more of my spiritual side than my egotistical side. So therefore, that's the reason why I'm able to handle it better and quicker and recognize it quicker. But I would not be surprised. I have this in my mind because I think, I know that I suppressed it because like I said, I don't remember like an individual, but I like have an idea something happened.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so, but I've always had it, the idea. I've always had that in there. You know what I'm saying? And then I've always been like, I I took the brain test, right? So I use like 65%. So I know I can access my file cabinet. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? In the back of my head. And
Yeah.
then what's the trip is I access it from the know too. Like my, you know,
Yeah.
myself in the know will access it for me
Yeah.
at times when I need to be recognizing something. If I ain't peeping it, it'll access information for me. I'll access the information and then relay it to myself. And
Yeah.
so that's why I think it's gonna go on. But that's why I said, look, I want to try this. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to complete my Shango, my spiritual progress, my mastering my spiritual self. That's why my name is Shango now. On my I took the last name off and put Shango because that's Shango is. The Shango is the mastering, the action of mastering your spiritual self.
I'm glad you answered that because I was about to ask you what that
Yeah,
meant.
and the Shango, but it's married. So it's three attributes that our bodies go through, right? Shango is one. Then you have Oya, which is the feminine, and that's the cleansing. And then you have Ogun, which is the replacing, which is the masculine, right? So Oya has to marry Ogun in order to go into the Shango.
This sounds familiar. I'm learning a lot of this kind of stuff in my comedic meetings that I'm going to, and that's why those words sound familiar. I remember the
Yeah,
few
because I
times
sent you the
I heard it.
video of the professor. His name is Professor James Smalls,
Mm-hmm.
and he breaks it down all the way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay, continue because I'll get on the rant.
You're fine. So so basically what I was saying before, I told you to get on your bed 'cause I want you to be really comfortable because and get really comfortable. Maybe you should set up and get comfortable now. Put your phone down somewhere. I don't know if you want to put it somewhere to where it's facing you or maybe off of you a little bit. Just I need to at least be able to hear you and you to be able to hear me, you know? So that way,
Right.
because you want your body to be able to relax because you don't
Got
want
you.
any of your awareness to be interrupted or in any way. And if those of you people who are listening, um, if you want some shadow work done, this is usually by case
The brothers on
process.
there.
So if you do try to listen in and then try to do it yourself, it won't really do anything for you because it's basically the question they're going to be asking is basically just for him. So just to
Right.
let you know, if some of you are like, oh, I'm gonna do it too, it's not really like a regular like meditation or anything like that. It's gonna be specifically focused for
I'm
him.
just looking because I got family members on here from
So that's
Texas.
yeah, that's why I was saying that you could
Yeah, I
keep it
got
kind of vague if you want to. But then
you.
also know that a part of healing also consists of being able to be really 100 and open and not feel ashamed of it. And know that when we are really, because we in society have been taught to be ashamed
Right.
of our pain. But there is not
Right.
one personality here who has not been through any shit. There's not one
Right.
personality who does not feel any shame for anything. But we
Right.
all need to heal somehow, some way. There's nobody out there who doesn't. So I think
Right.
a big part of being very conscious of ourselves is to be aware that it's okay to be open about it and it's okay to there's no reason to
100%
hide it
transparent.
because That's what
Right.
creates shadow selves is really hiding that part of ourselves. Of
Mm.
course, some things are still private too. Of course, we have a right to that privacy. But if it
True, true.
comes from a place of shame, then it's not good for us. It's not good for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I'm all in, so I'm a 100 cat anyway. They know.
saying?
Yeah, that's how I get down. But I'm not ashamed of me at all.
So, the music, my voice ratio, does it sound okay from your end?
Yes.
It's not like too noisy or irritating or anything like that?
Nope.
Can you hear
I
it at
barely
all?
hear the music.
You can barely hear it? Okay, so basically it is just for me then.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you,
that's for you.
are you experiencing meditation at all? Do you ever listen to meditations or anything like that?
I think about a year ago I started trying to do it but it seemed like it worked it was like a 50-50 thing
Mm.
because my mind never stopped. So when I tried to I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too deep, as far as it goes. But I used to it would put me in a better little space, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But I don't personally know that it was actually effective other than my energy would be nice but as
Mm.
far as me being able to drift off and go into a whole nother realm or whatever, my mind never stops working enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
If that's what
So,
you're talking.
I'm going to speak to you kind of in like a meditative kind of way, but I don't want you to be fully in a meditation, so I don't want you to feel like you have to like you definitely do not. I do not want you to turn your mind off. I need you to be present. So I'm just using it as an example because I'm usually with like guided meditations. I don't know if you've listened to a guided meditation. What it is like a voice that you listen to, and what you pretty much do is whatever the voice is telling you to do, you will imagine it with in your. I like to call it your mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like so your
Yep,
eyes
I'm
would be
familiar
closed, and
with
when
it.
I say to picture something or do something within your head or picture something, then you would do that in your mind's eye. So pretty much is just
Understood.
being able to take direction and be able
I
to
understand.
trust the direction that is being told to you, and knowing that whatever direction that I'm speaking to you, you were fully 100% control the whole time, and you were safe to listen to what I'm not going to guide you anywhere crazy, you know?
Listen, let me tell you something. So I trust you.
Mm.
If I didn't, I wouldn't have never committed. I wouldn't have never hit you up about it. So we can get past that. You're pretty much cool. And then I know how to stop anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If I don't want to do something, I ain't gonna do it. That's the Aries in me, so we good.
I'm just bringing it out because a lot of people, I don't want you to come up with these mental questions in the middle of it.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to interrupt your awareness to think like,
tenfold.
oh, is she gonna say something weird, or or get uncomfortable or anything like that. Just know that you're gonna be perfectly aware the whole time. I don't want you to fall asleep. You're going to be talking to me. Versus
I
a
ain't gonna.
versus the whole meditation is usually like you're quiet the whole time,
Mhm.
and this is going to be not like that because I need you to speak to me. You see what I'm
No
saying?
problem. It's
Okay.
interactive. I like that.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and just lay back and then get really comfortable for me.
I'm. I am. I'm on my pillows and everything. I'm comfortable. I
Okay.
ain't gonna. You know, I need to look up like that.
As long as you're comfortable, whatever you want, whatever you got to do to be comfortable, then
Oh,
be comfortable.
okay. I'm comfortable. I'm good.
Okay. So go ahead and just relax your muscles. I'm gonna have you.
Yeah, because I'm not sitting up here. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm gonna have you just focus on your breath just for a moment, and you're gonna focus on your inflow and your outflow of your breath, the way it feels for the air to go in through your nostrils, into your lungs, and out, without trying to control your breath. But basically, you're just gonna take your awareness and you're just gonna focus on that. You take your
Okay.
awareness inward. I'm gonna have you just do this just for a moment, and then just so you could sit with yourself just for a while, sit with your stillness for a while. And then here in a moment, I'm going to speak affirmations to you. And when I speak affirmations to you, you're going to listen to these affirmations and you're going to make them your own. Versus you're not just going to listen to them, you're going to hear them in your head as if they're yours.
Okay.
You know, when I tell you something and I tell you to imagine something, or I give you an affirmation that consists of imagining something or thinking of something, then you will do that within your mind's eye.
Tempo.
But then when you do, I want you to really feel it. Because if you really want this to really process, it's really up to you, you know? The more you really focus on identifying with the affirmations and making them yours and really focusing and really imagining and thinking about it, the more it'll be embedded within your energy and
Okay.
within your mind. And even if you want to like do whatever you can to make sure you like really feel what I'm saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So go ahead and just relax.
All right.
I'm gonna have you do some breathing exercises for a moment. What it's gonna do is kind of slow your breathing down. And when you slow your breathing down, it slows your nerves down. And when you slow your nerves down, it slows your blood down. And when your blood slows down, your thoughts slow down and all the activity within your brain and your body slows down. So you're gonna take a deep breath in through your nose to the count of 5. And then you're gonna hold it to the count of 5. And then you're going to release it out your mouth to the count of 5. And then you're going to hold it out to the count of 5. And then you do it again. You breathe in through your nose to the count of 5. You're going to hold it to the count of 5. Then release it out your mouth to the count of 5. And then hold it out to the count of 5. And then go ahead and just do that just to yourself just for a moment. If you feel any thoughts interrupting your awareness of your breath, you're simply just going to notice the thought. You're not going to judge it. You're not going to judge the moment or the thought. You're just going to simply push it away as if it's like a cloud. And then you're going to return your awareness back to your breathing. Go ahead and return your focus back to your breathing and just breathe natural.
Mm.
Notice your breath going in and out. And for a moment, I just want you to just be aware of your thoughts that are floating in and out of your awareness. Don't identify your thoughts as if they're yours. Don't judge them, don't judge the moment, and don't judge yourself. I want you to simply just be with yourself and watch your thoughts float in and out of your awareness as if you're standing behind yourself and watching them go in and out. of your mind. Give yourself the permission to relax into yourself and to relax into the moment. Be aware of the temperature of the room touching your skin. Be aware of your weight on the furniture below you. Be aware of your own weight.
What you say?
Be aware of your own weight, the weight of your body. And you're going to do a quick scan all the way from the top of your head to your toes, and you're going to relax every muscle. You're going to relax your forehead, relax your jaw. You're going to allow your tongue to drop from the roof of your mouth and relax. Relax your shoulders. If you feel any tension in a certain area, you're going to breathe in light, and you're going to breathe out tension. Relax your arms.
Up.
Relax your stomach muscles. Relax your hands. Relax your legs. Focus on how relaxed your feet feel. Focus on the weight of your body, almost as if the air in the room is pushing you down into the furniture you're laying on. You are comfortable and safe. You are secure and have deep roots connected to Mother Earth below you. You are stable and grounded like a mountain. Your thoughts are simply clouds of awareness, and it's easy for you to observe them floating by with no judgment and no identifying with them. You will simply notice them floating by. Notice how heavy your eyelids feel.
Hmm?
Notice how heavy your eyelids feel. Feel your body's water flowing through you. Feel every breath going in and out as if there are waves flowing in and out of you. Notice your breath as a crash of a wave. As soon as your breath goes in and out, and be aware of right where it goes in and out. Just that center spot where that wave is. Notice how light you feel. Know that you have everything you need to accomplish your goals. Your manifesting skills burn strong with you. Feel the warmth of the sun burning in your stomach. Notice how warm your body feels. And notice how heavy your body feels. You're aware that you love and respect yourself and others. Love flows through you and to you easily. Notice the fresh air you're breathing. It's okay to speak your truth with loving words.
Say that again.
It's okay to speak your truth with loving words.
Speak my truth.
You know the power of your words. You know that words have the power to manifest what you desire.
I desire a relationship with my oldest daughter.
You notice your words float through the ether. You're aware that your eyes still feel heavy. You're aware that you're in touch with your intuition. You see clearly and reflect things as they are, like water. You could see the planet from the sky.
Say it again.
I want you to float above your body.
Hmm.
Float above your room. Float above your city. Watch your city from the sky. And I want you to simply notice what you see from there. Maybe you see some cars. Maybe you see trees. Look to the side and see if you see clouds next to you, or are there clouds above you, or are there clouds below you?
Above me.
I want you to rise above those clouds.
Sure.
I want you to rise above and keep going until you see stars next to you. Until the world looks small to you. And know that the universe is on your side. You have the power to flow with everything. You are the universe. You accept all that is because you're aware that you are everything. And there is nothing but stillness. I want you to notice that you are in a room in your mind. In your mind, you're going to step into another time, a previous time. Maybe it's a room, maybe it's a building, maybe you're outside. The last time, the most previous time you had a trigger. Try not to look for it. You're simply going to allow the answer to come to you. Let the room or the space around you, wherever you were at that time, appear to you. When the surrounding appears to you, let me know when you're there.
There.
Are you in a room?
Yeah.
What year is it?
2019.
What month is it? Do you know what time it is?
8:45.
Is there somebody there with you?
Come
Are you having a conversation with somebody?
on.
Can you tell me what's happening?
It's in the conversation.
Tell me what's going through your mind during this conversation you're having with this person. Don't tell me exactly the conversation. You're going to tell me what's going through your mind at that time. Are you going to?
While it came down in the kitchen and the kitchen's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's what's going on. That was the trigger.
What's the thought that you were having in your head during that time?
I wanted to slap a bitch.
Tell me one specific sentence that you had in your mind at that time.
I verbalized it.
What did you say?
It's nasty motherfuckers. Excuse my French.
What emotions were you feeling at that time? Angry,
Anger,
frustrated?
irritated.
What was your body feeling at that time? Do your shoulders tense up? Do you clench your jaw? What does your body do when you're in this feeling?
Clench my jaw. I grind my teeth.
Uh-huh.
My head heated up.
You feel like your head gets hot?
It does. Yes.
What about your hands?
They start to shake.
You start to shake. When you think about that moment, since you are a spiritual person, can you tell me what the energy around you feels like when you're in this emotion and then your body is tensing up? Does it feel
It's
heavy?
it's it's just everything gets hot. The energy gets heavy.
Can you put a color to it?
Red. And it's funny because I get angry and see red, but that's my favorite color.
Mm. Can you put a shape to it?
The shape.
Yeah, if you could see the energy around you, do you think you could put a shape to it? How big do you think it is? When you're in that emotion, how far do you think it goes?
I think because I diffuse myself quickly.
So when you say defuse, do you think your energy might shoot out and suck back in again? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I
So
diffuse the whole act of anger, the whole action, the anger, the frustration, and the irritation.
can you remember what the room smelled like? Can you remember all your senses? Was there a scent in the room?
Strawberries. Did you hear me?
Did you say strawberries? For a moment, I want you to take all your senses from the thoughts that's going through your head, through the way your body felt, to the energy that you felt, and sum it all together. And I want you to sit in it as if you're in it right now, without pushing it away. Because what we do is we have a habit of pushing these feelings away. What I want you to do is just sit with it for a moment. And then when you sit with it and when you're there, tell me what you're feeling like. I want you to talk to me about it. Do you feel resistant when you sit in it? Do you feel like, does it give you power? Do you feel like you want to run with it?
I
Or what?
feel I feel deadly.
You feel
I
dangerous?
feel dangerous.
Does it
And
feel
because
dangerous to you? Or does it feel powerful to you, or both?
uh, I don't, it's not dangerous to me. I feel dangerous to some others, like I can harm somebody, which is the reason why I diffuse it real quick.
So in a way, a little bit of your energy might be fearful of yourself,
Yes.
fearful of what you could do, of
What can I do?
your own strength and your own frustration. So when you defuse it, I want you to go right in that moment, almost like a wave, as if your energy's going out, and you hit that defuse button. Right when you hit that button, tell me what that feels like.
Peace.
Peace. Where does it go?
I don't know. It goes away. It appears to go away.
Hmm. Now take all that energy that we were just talking about. As you're sitting in all this energy, when was another time you felt that way that was most previous? Now notice I'm not asking you when was the last time previously you had a trigger. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking when was the exact time before that you felt this exact same energy that you're sitting in right now. I want you to go to that place. Don't try to create it, remember it, allow it to just be brought to you. And then when you remember it, go ahead and just let me know.
September last year.
Where are you?
Came back. I was at work.
It was at work or was it at home or when you came home from work?
It was at work.
It was at work. Where? Was it a specific room?
Yeah. Showroom floor.
I want you to mentally, in your mind's eye, is go back to that room.
I'm there.
Who's in the room with you?
My boss.
Does the room have a smell to it?
Furnace.
Is there a specific temperature in the room? Is it cold, warm?
Warm. In the middle. Comfortable.
Now, when you had that, right when the trigger hit you, what was the thought going through your head? What was the first thought that went through your head?
Slap that bitch.
At this time, did you verbally share it or did you keep it in your mind?
I didn't share it because it wasn't me. It was me, but it was the other part of me.
So it was in your mind.
Yeah.
What other thoughts were going through your head at the time?
The fact that people are so selfish and not thoughtful.
What
Yeah.
was your body feeling like?
It was ready for war.
Explain to me a body scan. Give me a body scan. Tell me all the way from your forehead to your toes and tell me what your body was feeling like at that moment.
My forehead immediately got hot because my blood pressure rose up. So I get immediately hot.
Mm-hmm.
My voice started fluttering. Start shaking. See, all of these are signs ready for war, ready for combat. I'm ready for physical confrontation. That's how my body feels when it does that.
So you tense up.
Give or
When I
take.
hear combat, I know a lot of people in combat. They have a certain stance within their body. Basically, so if somebody was to surprisingly push them over, they could have their stance and they could hold their stance. Is that kind of what you're explaining? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, but I don't get tense. I loosen up more. Like the shake it's like because I'm in my I'm in my comfort zone.
Almost like you feel at home there in that
Yeah,
energy.
because of my because I'm a Aries. I'm a natural soldier. So Although I don't want to be there, I might not want to act on that specific action or emotion. My body will automatically get ready. I, I have to diffuse it.
Mhm.
I diffuse my mind diffuses the body.
So during that time, what would you say your energy felt like at that time? Was it the same? Was it red? Or was this one a different color?
Mm. It was red. It was red because both times they were red because they were sudden cases, right? I, I move like it just sudden, and when it happens suddenly, that my body immediately goes to from 0 to 100. And
So stay in the room, and I want you to just take your awareness to all your senses during that moment without pushing it away, without avoiding it, without fearing it, without being uncomfortable. In the same way as I was telling you earlier when I was saying to watch your thoughts flow in and out, you're going to do the same thing with this feeling. You're going to just simply be aware of it. You're going to go as if you're in that moment, and you're going to be aware of your thoughts. Watch them, notice what you're thinking, notice what your body feels like, notice the energy without judging it, without pushing it away. You're simply noticing, almost like an alien studying you. Not like you're mentally taking notes. Now I want you to, now that you're sending the energy, I want you to back away just for a moment. Like you're in the room and you're in and you see yourself. Now back away from yourself. See yourself almost like you're watching yourself in the past. You're watching yourself stand in the room. You're gonna back away and you're gonna leave your that self back there. You're just gonna watch you and watch the other person just for a moment. What you're doing is you're separating yourself from that energy and leaving it there. And you're gonna float up, but I want you to always float up. Float up to
turn
your
it down.
huh? I want you to float up to the ceiling and you're gonna look down at yourself and look down at whoever else is in the room. You're just gonna simply watch. And you're gonna float up higher and you're gonna go to the same place you were at earlier with their stars next to you. And the clouds are below you. And the earth is below you. And you're connected to everything. Back to the same exact place you were at earlier. Just go there and observe. The next question I'm gonna ask you, I don't want you to search for the answer. In the space that you're in, as you're floating with the stars, the next question I ask, you're going to ask the space around you for this answer. And you're going to allow the answer to be given to you.
I'm going to do what with the space?
You're going to be aware of the space around
Okay.
you. And the question I'm about to ask you, you're going to give that question to the space around you.
Hmm.
So you're not going to answer the question. You're going to give that question to the space around you. And you're going to allow that space to give you the answer.
Understood.
Which means you're going to have no effort into trying to look for search. And if you catch yourself trying to look and search for the answer, don't judge yourself and just simply take note. You're going to back away from it for a second and give the answer to the space around you and allow the answer to be given to you. And you're just going to relax and just take your time. Just for a moment, just be aware of the space around you. Be aware of the oxygen. Be aware of the sky. Just be aware of the ether, where all answers connect to. Simply sit in awareness just for a moment. When was the first time you experienced this energy? Ask the ether, when was the first time I experienced this energy? Allow it to be given to you. Relax.
I was 13.
Where are you?
What?
Where are you when you're 13? Where were you?
Downstairs in the den in Tacoma at my house.
Stand in the room just for a moment and look around. Is there furniture in the room?
Yes.
Look to your right. What's sitting to the right of you?
Couch.
What color is it?
Orange.
Is there clothes on it or a picture hanging over it?
What?
Is there a picture hanging over it or is there pillows on it or anything?
Pillows that come with it.
Explain the pillows to me for a second. What do the pillows look like?
Same color as the couch.
Is it dark purple, light purple?
No mustard, but burnt orange.
Is there a print on it?
No.
Now look to your
It's a,
left of you.
it's a sectional. And I can't make out the picture.
You said you can or you can't?
I can't.
Look to the left of you and tell me what's on the left side of the room.
The TV, the door, out of the den, and the shrunk.
Notice where your awareness told you to stand in the room. When I said go to the room or where are you in the room, notice what your awareness took you to. What is
It's
behind you
tell
and what is in front of you?
what?
What is behind you and what is in front of you?
In front of me is the rest of the shrunk. If you're talking about physical things, so I'll notice that it has me standing in the place while I'm standing where I was standing the next. So I'm standing the year before where I was standing.
Do you see yourself in the room or are you as yourself in the room?
I see myself
Where are you at in the room, your other self?
behind me, closer to the sliding glass door,
What are you doing?
standing in front of the chase of the sectional, looking at the back of my head.
And you said you're 13? How old?
13.
Do you remember, can you see what you're wearing? Do you remember what you were wearing that day? Or what the weather was like?
Remember, I'm, I'm, yeah, it's like I'm putting two things together, the year before and the year. So, yeah, I was 13.
Is there somebody else in the room?
Yes. When I got angry, I wasn't standing up when I was 13. I was laying on the chase. with a cover on, and I had a cast on my foot.
Who's in the room with you?
Right then,
Yeah, is there somebody else in the room with you?
when I'm 13 and actually laying down, or
Yeah,
right
the moment you're in right now. Is there somebody else in the room with you?
now? Yes, and
Who's in the room?
my mother,
You said
auntie,
who?
auntie and my uncle are sitting on the couch. Under me, face.
What's going through your head at this time?
I can't believe this motherfucker just knocked my mama tooth to her lip.
What's going through your mind? What are you thinking as a child? Your child mind at that time, what was going through your head?
Protect my mother.
Say that one more time.
Protect my mother. Okay, my
What does your body feel?
it's tingling.
Were you doing the same thing then? Is your body tense or is it loose?
It's like the tingle is like radiating through my whole body.
What are the
But
emotions going through you right now? Do you feel fearful, anger, resentment, sadness? What do you
full angry, not sure I was gonna be able to actually win the fight, but
So how do you so go more into that. How do you feel about yourself at that time? How were you feeling about yourself? You said you weren't sure if you could win the fight. So were you feeling doubtful in yourself?
only because he was grown and I wasn't.
But yet you stood up anyways.
Right. But remember this, I was this actual fight only and the whole action happened when I was 14. The first minute,
Yeah, so you mentioned when you were 13, so we're going to go back there because that's where your awareness went.
so I was laying on the couch on a chase.
Hmm.
We had just got home from Madigan. For
So we're not going to focus on what happened. We're going to focus on how you were feeling and what you're thinking and what your energy is feeling like at that time. We're going to sit with you.
So I was crying. So I felt inadequate. And that was the moment my mother.
So for a moment you felt hopeless, but you felt like you needed to do something, but you didn't know if you could or not.
Right.
Did the energy feel the same too? At that moment, was it red?
It was. Actually, I know that it was red at first. It got red when he came downstairs and sat on the couch next to me. So
What was it at first? Before it was red, was it a different color, different feeling?
because yeah, feeling of like I said, inadequate, feeling inadequate and anger.
So you feel like your energy changed within this moment. It was one type of energy and it changed to red.
Right, because the end of the culprit was in my face then. See what I'm saying? So I was hearing them. I
Mm-hmm.
heard first. So then that was my first, that's when those inadequate, angry emotions kicked in. And he felt the need to come downstairs to talk to me, to tell me that sometimes you have to. That's what he said.
So at that moment, the red energy started bursting from you. I want you to go to that one specific one moment, right when it went from not red to red. And you just sit with it just for a moment without resisting it. And know that you're here now and you're just simply taking your awareness there.
My whole body is trembling.
Did your body feel tight or loose?
It's getting ready.
And when it turned red, were you standing or laying down?
I'm laying down.
Your emotions, you said you were crying at that moment? Or did you stop at that moment, or were you about to?
I still have my tears, but I was already crying.
So maybe that was
So
at the moment when you stopped.
right. Amen.
What does your head feel like?
Father,
I want you to observe yourself. If you could go back to that moment and tell yourself something at that moment as the adult self you are now, if you could go back to that one moment and speak to yourself and give yourself some kind of guidance, some kind of anything, what would you tell yourself at that moment? What advice would you give your 13-year-old self at that one moment? What would you tell yourself?
you don't have to whoop him, and you don't have to walk in his shoes. You make your own way. You do. You know better. You do better.
If there was somebody else that walked in the room to help you, what do you wish if another adult at that moment when you were 13 walked into that room, what do you wish that adult did for you at that moment?
When never
Huh?
thought about it. The father would have wished that they went and whooped him. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
For a moment, I want you to sit with yourself just for one moment. You're going to go back to that moment and you're going to have a conversation with yourself. You tell yourself, and I don't want you to share it with me and I don't want you to share it with anybody else, just for a moment. If you could have a conversation with yourself or tell yourself something, or if there's a specific person that you would like to come in that you wish, or another adult that you wish would have came in and interrupted that one moment, whatever it is that you wish, you're going to go into that one moment and you're basically going to daydream about it just for a moment. We daydream about things all the time, you know. So you're going to go in and you're going to dream just for 1 minute. You're going to talk to yourself or another person, whatever it is that you want, just for a moment. Sit with the moment with yourself.